Welcome everyone to the sequel of Ford versus Ferrari. It's Ford versus retirement. Well, it's maybe not a sequel, but anyway, my name's John McNamara. I'm with Highball Advisors, and we're at the Railroad Retirement Whiteboard today, and we're going to talk about the effects of automobile purchases on your retirement. All right, big issue, and it's something that I think is very important. I don't want to get judgmental in this video, but I just want you to start thinking about what effect purchasing these vehicles or financing these vehicles are going to have on the long term of your retirement and how you achieve retirement. All right. So first off, I love new cars. I love everything about them. I love the smell of new cars. I like the way they drive, the way they look in the showroom. They're great. All right. What I don't like about them is how they affect people's retirement, right? The expense, the payments that come with it. So I'm just going to walk through this scenario here, right? So we have buying, right? We want to buy a new car, right? So I take in an individual. He says, I got to have a car. Every 3 years, I want a new car. I want a new car every 3 years. So let's take the Ford F-150. Beautiful truck. I love Fords. I have a Ford. But if you get a new F-150, right, it's like $40,000. That's what it's going to cost you, and you got to finance that. So what I did here is I said, all right, $40,000, I got to finance at 5%. I put down 20%, right? It's 3-year loan because I'm trading in every 3 years, right? Because I'm one of those guys, I got to have a new car, right? So 3 years. So my monthly payment's almost $1,000, $959, right? And it's 3 years of ownership. All right, and then at the end of those 3 years, believe it or not, okay, that $40,000 vehicle is $20,000. So in 3 years, those first 3 years, you're losing almost 50% of the value of the vehicle. So, so then you have the individual that, hey, you know, the way they look at cars is I've got to get from A to B. I don't care who sees me in it. I just want a safe, reliable vehicle. That's all. Right, I don't get fascinated by the bells and whistles. I just need a car, right? I gotta get to work. I gotta drive the kids here or there, right? So they get, just a used car, and let's say they'll get a used car or a truck. It's $20,000, and they'll finance at 5%, 3-year term. Their monthly payment's $479, and they're going to own it for 10 years. Now, obviously, somebody who owns a vehicle for 10 years and they're buying it used, it's probably, at the end of the cycle, it's 12, 13 years old. But the way vehicles now are, you can drive these vehicles for 200,000 miles. And I'm sure some of you out there have vehicles way past 200,000 miles. Versus the new vehicle, right? The maintenance isn't going to be that high. A lot of that's covered under warranty. But all the depreciation is already out of the vehicle when they've bought it. So that's one thing. But let's just continue because what we're really trying to get to here is the effects that it has on retirement. Not, should I, buy or a new or used. And I don't even want to talk about leasing because don't get me started. So over the 30 years of the car, just the total cash outlay, right, is $233,000. This is for 30 years, over $233,000, right? Because it's $40,000, but every 3 years you're trading in your car, you're getting $20,000 back, and you got to go finance another $20,000, and the cycle repeats itself 10 times for 30 years, right? So $233,700 versus a person who buys a used car. Right, that's 3 times the person's got to do this. So that's $63,732, right? Give or take interest rates, I get that. It was interesting. Actually, the inflation in cars, I was checking this out, really isn't much at all. I mean, since 2000, they said the inflation on vehicles is like 0.57. So I didn't really even factor inflation because it's, it's really not that important. But let's look at how it affects retirement, right? So just want to give you some ideas. So let's say you're the new car guy, need it every 3 years, right? This guy over here needs it every 3 years, and I'm making these payments. But let's say all of a sudden, the light hits them, and they go to a used car strategy, right? So he takes that money instead, what he would be paying there, and pays it over here, takes that money, right? And then for the next 30 years, right? Instead of making those payments, he's paying it in to a retirement account, into a Roth IRA or something along that line. So 30 years at 8%, and where you get 8%, that's just basically the S&P since 1957. It's about averages about 8% a year. So I know markets go up and down, but just say 8% over those 30 years. So at the end of 30 years, you know, he's sitting in a Roth IRA perhaps with $642,000 tax-free, right? So imagine if you're let's say you start in the railroad at 30 years and you're retiring at 60, right? A 60 and 30 guy. And then at retirement, now you have an extra $642,000. And that's one car. That's one car, right? That's significant. You know, some people have 2, 3 cars. You're bumping up against $1 million, right? That you could have in retirement. So, like I say, you know, the numbers are what the numbers are. You can tweak them a little bit either way. But it's just to get you guys thinking about, okay, purchasing these vehicles and the effect that they're having on retirement. And I know a lot of us just get distracted by, oh, what's the monthly payment? I can afford the monthly payment, right? And it's just part of your general cash flow. But it really has a knock-on effect in your retirement from the railroad. So that's the purpose of this. Hopefully I haven't offended anybody. Hopefully maybe some of you think a little bit about it. Like I say, you know what'd be great? At the end of 60 to 30, when you retire and you have this money, go out and buy yourself a brand new car because you've deserved it. You saved up all the money. You've worked hard for it. All right. So I hope you found this helpful. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, john@highballadvisors.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate that down the bottom right hand of your screen. In the meantime, stay safe, stay on track, and take care. So long, everybody. Bye.